Welcome to the Property Corner with myself, Rowan Alexander. On this episode, I'm going to be giving you some advice about things that you can do around the home to ensure that you don't face big unnecessary bills due to a lack of maintenance. So there's a number of obvious things that you can do that people will always give you advice from around wintertime. Cleaning out the gutters, cleaning out the downpipes, ensuring that sort of rainwater runs away from your property, not towards it, clearing sort of the path of water to ensure that water doesn't dam up and actually flows out. So these are some things that you may have heard. Other things that I just want to remind you about is homes and properties are constructed of different materials. And, something that could be as simple as a floor. You look at a skirting today and you look at a floor and you ask, why do we have these trimmings? In the old days, a floor was independent of the house structure. Because your floor, which was a wooden suspended floor, moved at a different rate to the clay or the mud walls or the brick walls. And there would be a gap that was formed between the moving floor and the wall, and the skirting actually covered that gap. So today it's a finishing trim, but it actually had a function in old homes. And why I like telling that story is because everywhere where you have two different materials that meet in a home, aluminium and cement, or wood and cement, or roof tiles and wood, all of these materials move independently with temperature, and they will cause leaks. So if you're waterproofing or your starts leaking, it's very often because of the movement of these two materials where there's a joint. So be sure to review all of that waterproofing. Get someone out, have a look at that waterproofing, see if it needs to be treated. Keep your hand on them, because flooding your home is going to cost you a lot of money. It's also the ideal time to look at the trees in your garden. It's winter time. They're going to have shed a lot of leaves, or they're shedding a lot of leaves. Trim them down. Be sure that they don't mess, that they don't block gutters, that they don't cause sort of blockages in your pipes. So besides clearing them, also look at the actual cause. Very often this is overlooked. So you get someone to quickly jump on the roof, clear out the gutters, but the actual cause hasn't been addressed. A place that I often see people overlook is on top of flat walls. So very often water would or dampness would be shown at the bottom of a wall, and you'd see it in the bottom of the wall, and people will look where they see the water, whereas forgetting that water is hydraulic and it would move down the wall. And very often on top of flat walls, cracks have formed for the reasons that I've explained, and water is getting into it. A very small crack can create a lot of dampness. So be sure that on top of all flat structures, parapet walls in particular, that these are well waterproofed. It's not only where there's joints, on your flat surfaces too. Boundary walls are something where you'll often see this. Boundary walls with a little pillar with a flat top, you'll very often see cracks and white markings on the walls. This is because they haven't been maintained properly from a waterproofing perspective. Another tip quite relevant in South Africa right now is with all this installing of solar panels, be sure to inspect your roof that there were no tiles or sheeting disrupted or damaged during the installation of these solar panels. I myself at my own house have just recently gone through that process of inspecting that and found one or two minor issues that had come about due to the working on the roof. This is normal. Be sure to check these to avoid any unexpected losses or damages.